Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paragon Tom and today I'll be playing for the price of less than a pizza, Rymdkapsel. Rymdkapsel is going to set you back about £5.60 or $8, so you're looking at maybe a margarita for that, 10-inch margarita you might be able to buy for that, depending where you are. But so it's fairly cheap and it'll run on absolutely anything. You can be playing this on a potato and you'll still get a good game out of it. So I've already done some of the missions. I've played about 2 hours of this so far and it is great fun. So let's just start a new game and I'll explain how we're going to do this. I think we'll just go normal here and we'll overwrite the previous game. So you play this game by building a base out of Tetris shaped blocks, and you can see the blocks in the top left corner. Get corridors, extractors, reactor, garden, kitchen, weapon and cores, and they're all different kinds of room that do different things. So we're going to start here by placing a basic corridor here, and we need to select our workers at the bottom of the screen and drag them over to construction. This will get them to take the required resources and place them here. The pink and blue are primarily building resources, while the yellow is a food resource. Next we're going to throw down an extractor here to mine some of the pink resources. Our minions will go and build that as soon as they're still in construction, and we're going to have a look around at what we got. So as you can see, we start with a limited supply of blue and pink and yellow resources. The pink ones, as I said, you get by mining. The blue ones are energy and you can get them by creating reactors. So you can see they're fairly high in the energy cost themselves. The yellow one, like I say, is food. Well, I say it's food. I actually can't remember if it's food or not. It's either food or ingredients, and you get ingredients by building the gardens, which if we're allowed, yeah, we're just going to throw one down here. So our unit should go and create that garden and we can start getting food. We also need a reactor, as reactors will let us gather energy, which we also need for building. So you can see we don't actually need to put any units on the extractor, it'll just mine by itself here. Now we're actually starting to run out of room here, so I'm going to throw down a few more corridors and rotate this one around a bit and throw it there. So if they start on these corridors later, we'll have a good infrastructure to spread out here, because these mineral patches do run out eventually, and the only way you can keep them going is to collect the other mineral patches which are set around the map. If you're wondering what these platforms are here, these are obelisks. You acquire them by building corridors to them, which your workers can get to, and assigning certain workers to research, at which point they will research that obelisk. It can take anywhere from 2 minutes up to 10 minutes depending on how many you have working and what upgrades you have. And the upgrades can provide anything from faster research to getting greater yield from these mineral expansions, all the way up to better combat abilities, because yes, there is a basic combat element in this game, and to protect against that I am going to actually place down a weapon system here. So I am terrified we could be getting attacked. Now I think they're going to focus on the sludge first, which is okay, because we're not actually getting attacked. We will also need a kitchen, so I think it's safe to throw a kitchen there, and that gives us all of our basic things. We have an extractor, a reactor, the gardens, the kitchen and the weapons division. Now weapons divisions can only take 2 workers per one, and when you start getting quarters which give you extra minions, you will have to build extra weapons quarters for them to defend themselves. So I think we're going to throw down a weapons shield right about here. Hopefully they will focus on Masashi. You can also prioritise which they build, because they tend to build at random quite a lot. So we're going to tell them to go and build the gardens first, or in fact no, they've already built the gardens, we need them to build the kitchen. That will allow us to get some food, which will allow us to create more population, which will allow us to do more stuff faster. So yeah, see here, these are the ingredients or the sludge that the garden produces. if you put someone in to work in the kitchen, they will take that sludge, they will process in the kitchen into food, which is this yellow resource here. Now I think we're going to need to get another extractor soon, so we'll throw that down there and put down a extractor here. Yeah, that should give us plenty of space to work around it. After this, I think we're going to have to go and get the weapons room set, 'cause as you can see, this bottom red bar of the screen here is slowly expanding, and when this reaches the top we will be attacked, and the attack can be rather dangerous. So low level, so we should be able to defend ourselves easily with just the 2 minions we have here. As you can see, this blue grid here is basically where they can attack from if they're based in here. So what you aim to do by the end is you'll have a sprawling base, which you can zoom out. I've had bases that reach all the way to each obelisk before, but because of the only small area that this blue grid covers, you really want to have weapon systems based all around, spread all around, so that you can defend all of your base. Now let's zoom in again, see what they're working on. Oh, and the screen flashes red, indicating that we're about to be attacked. Come on, let's try and build this weapon system quickly. I'm not sure what's taking them so long, but hopefully they'll get it constructed by the time the attack hits. There we go. And we can throw them straight into defense because the attack is imminent. And there we go. And the enemies, you can see, are coming from the top right. They are just little pixels, but they are dangerous. As you can see, they're shooting us and we took them out. So let's get them back on construction. Prioritise the gardens, I think, and then we can work on getting a new set of quarters so we can get some new workers to help us defend next time. Now, there isn't really any objective in this game, it's really just a wave-based survival. So we survived wave 1, and we're going to move one of them into the food service, because the quarters that house 2 additional minions need 4 food. And to get that, we're going to have to get some people working in the kitchen. So this minion here is working in the kitchen. He's going to be taking food, sludge from the gardens to the kitchen, where it'll be processed into food, and then it can be used to build the quarters. We've got a bit of time before the next attack hits. 2 minions should still be sufficient to defend it, so I don't think we have to worry too much about it. But let's start thinking about how we're going to space out this base. So if we look at the defense, we're going to need some defense up here soon. So I think it's going to be best if we throw a corridor down here, and we can turn this blue one into a weapons set and throw that down there. So that will allow our next group of minions to defend themselves. We are also going to need to gather these resources, so we're going to put another corridor there and a corridor here. This is going to give us access to these resources here and these ones here. And this one we should be able to just easily expand up here to get resources there. I like to plan out what I'm doing in advance quite a lot. So I can, if I throw this down there, that's going to give me a path to the obelisk to research and also to the resources. We're going to do the same over here by throwing a corridor here, I believe. Yep. We're actually going to keep the square one for a while. Oh, didn't mean to pause it. We're going to keep the square for a while because squares can be very useful in certain places. Let's see. How close is this to construction? It needs 2 more energy and 3 more minerals. So let's see. Should actually complete that by the time we can actually throw our food service guy back into construction, seeing as all of the food blocks are finished. In fact, I may have been wrong about that. Yes, that was actually indicating how much left we have. So we got 1 more energy, 4 more minerals, and 3 more food to complete it. So that should complete fairly quickly. But the next wave on is in a little while, so we're going to have to keep an eye on that. I think I'll just take this time to throw down another extractor here. It's not the best place to put one because I was hoping I could get... In fact, it works out because we have a straight one here. Okay, so our minerals are getting rather low. It gives you a nice little warning there. So after we finish these quarters, I think the next thing to focus on is getting this mineral patch here. So we can rush over, get this mineral patch. Oh, why are you both lying down? You have jobs to do. Maybe I should throw you into food service. Is that going to give you something to do? This game does make some strange decisions on the AI. This game was actually developed a couple years ago, although you couldn't tell it. It's obviously an indie game, but it was developed back in 2013 by a small indie company called Grapefruit. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like grapefruit but with a K. So let's throw as many ones as we can here into defense, actually, because the enemy's on its way. There it is, see, and it's instantly attacking one of our minions. This is a much more dangerous enemy, and we've got some weapons, and we held it off. So let's put 1 in food service and 2 in construction. Let's keep prioritizing getting these minerals, and we should be fine. This game took about 1.5 years to make. Looks like it would take a lot longer personally, but I don't make games, I only play them, so what would I know? I'm going to prioritize the minerals next. According to the developers, a lot of the actual base building elements were inspired by the old Command and Conquer games, if you ever played them. Some of the original real-time strategy games. And it's actually first released on the PlayStation mobile service and only later ported to the Windows and Mac operating systems, and I believe it is also on Xbox or PlayStation. I couldn't tell you which one. I think it's probably PlayStation, considering it was on PlayStation mobile service first. Yeah, we'll get another minion. It takes 2 to build 1 minion, and we'll get that. I think we'll prioritize the odd. Seem to have okay, so they are prioritizing the weapons. Let's take that idle worker, throw him into construction, and the food service worker, throw him into construction. And let's see how our defense looks. Got a small gap here in the middle, but that shouldn't prove too big of an issue. I think we can use these corridors actually to reach the obelisk, which would be useful. And we can throw another one down here with a extractor to mine the minerals up there. See, I always plan stuff out a fair way ahead of time. Apparently we've run out of food, which I'm not sure. We'll take one of the ones on construction, move him onto food service. See, it always tells you what you need to do, so you never lose track of what he's doing. I think we can put an extractor down here, perhaps. Yeah, we'll throw an extractor down there for now, and start working our way towards this building up here. We'll throw this there, and a corridor there. And that should allow us to get to that second obelisk fairly easily. So let's prioritize that weapons thing, so we'll all be able to defend ourselves when the next wave of enemies reaches. And this is one of those games that you can just start playing and then forget about time and just be playing for hours, just constantly thinking about the next thing you have to do. The next wave's coming, I need to defend against it. I've not got enough minions to reach the next obelisk. I've not got enough food to build the next set of minions I need. And it can just keep you going and going. It's a lot like, if any of you ever played Civ 5's Just One More Turn, it's a lot like that, but without the limitation of it being turn-based. So we've got plenty of food coming in. I think we can probably move the food service worker back onto construction, and we can hopefully get our weapons system built in time for this next attack. Now, see, it's fairly stationary at the moment. There's not a whole lot going on, but I'll try and record some of the late game for you where it can get very hectic when you're managing 10, 12 workers at once against multiple enemies that can one-hit certain minions. Let's see if we can build this in time. We can't, so let's move some of them. Let's move them all into defense and watch them scurry around to defend themselves. So we've got our 2 new minions sitting in the new weapon system defending themselves, and our 2 old minions in the old weapon system defending themselves. And we're being attacked from over here. Again, apparently it's two enemies. We've got one coming in over here, which we took out fairly quickly, and one coming in from over here. So it should be an easy defense here, then we can get back to work. I think I want to expand out to over here to grab the obelisk up here. We will need some more quarters as well, so I think we're going to throw another set of quarters here, which will allow us to get some more workers. So you can use anywhere from 1 to 3 workers to research an obelisk, which will give you upgrades. So we will need some new workers to research while the rest of our workers keep constructing, gathering minerals and defending us against the evil aliens. So I'm just going to skip ahead here to a bit later in the game, and you'll get to see how hectic it can get. Okay, so I've been playing for almost an hour now, and as you can see, our base has grown quite a bit larger. I've already researched 2 of these monoliths. This one gave me a speed upgrade, so the minions are going to be able to move faster, and this one slows the wave progression. I've also gotten a load of more staff quarters, so we've got a lot more workers, and a few of them are actually idle. A lot of the resource patches has run out, and we've had to expand to get this one, and I'm expanding to get this one down here as well. I'm also going to move the ones on food service, seeing as they're not needed anymore, over into the research farm, so they can start researching this monolith up here, which will make the extractors more efficient. Now, when you start reaching the end of the game, where your resource is becoming much more sparse, I mean, on the entire map we've only got 2 resource pools left, but the good thing is we've almost finished everything we need. We can't have more quarters because, as I said, we're running out of resources, and we don't need any more weapons departments, seeing as all of our minions are going to fit in them. But let's start moving all of our minions over to defense now, seeing as that we're about going to get attacked in a very short while. Going to prioritize this extractor over here, so when the wave finishes, so as you can see, you've got more enemies coming in, and it can get a bit hectic later on when you're trying to make sure all your minions get back in time to defend against it. And we've almost just got one more to kill, and there we go. We haven't lost any minions from the looks of it, so we can put 3 into research. Yeah, we only need 3 in research, and we can throw the rest back into construction to get this extractor up and running. When this extractor's up and running, we can finish this pathway here and have access to the last monolith to finish our research. So as you can see, all of our minions are running up to gather the resources and get the research done. So this one's 6% decoded. You can have, as I said, anywhere between 1 and 3 people researching at any time, and the more you have, the faster it is, but it still takes a little while. So as you can see, it's slowly climbing up in the top right here, 3% per every couple seconds maybe. I don't know the exact timings, but as soon as we get this extractor built, we're going to finish this off and start researching the last monolith. And after that you reach the end game, which is pretty much just a wave-based survival. So every time the red bar will climb quicker and quicker, and let's just prioritize this quickly. I think it might actually be worth throwing down another cause. I know I said we didn't need one, but I think it could be a worthwhile investment here. I am going to need somewhere to put my last weapons department, because you can't have it overlapping with any of the others. Perfect, if it's just there. So we'll start building one more quarter. We'll throw some more into research so we can start getting this last monolith, which will increase the range of our weapons, making it easier to defend. As you can see, the enemy meter is growing much quicker than it was before, so we've got less time to research and get all of our minions back in time. We're going to need 1 or 2 on food service so we can get the quarters up and running, and very shortly I think we're going to have to start getting everyone back to the defense quarters to defend against this next wave. So let's see how much more we can get in. So we're up to 60% roughly on this monolith, and they're making a start on this one. We're getting plenty of minerals mined from our extractors. I think we need to prioritise the weapons quarters before we build the quarters, because the staff, if we have extra workers that don't have a defence point, then they'll most likely be killed off in the next wave. So let's start moving all of our research workers back into defence, the food service workers back into defence, and we can get the construction workers back in defence as well. So when this wave arrives, hopefully everyone will be safe and wielding a weapon to fend them off. During this time our extractors will keep gathering minerals so we can finish constructing the last of the quarters. And it looks like everyone's just about going to make it to their weapons department in time now. And last guy gets it, and this should be another easy defense for this wave. So let's just finish this off, and let's throw 6 into research, the rest into construction and food service, and let's just prioritise that last set of quarters. And I think it might be worth just throwing down another quarter here, and we can get another weapons set up somewhere. Whereas I'm trying to keep it all rather centralised, because that's going to make it easier for people to reach. I think yeah, let's throw it there. That way the workers researching this monolith here will be able to get to it very quickly. And this monolith should be researched fairly quickly. We've got another idle worker, so we can throw these ones into construction. And we'll finish off this quarter, and then the next quarter, and the last of the weapons departments. So let's prioritise the weapons first. Let's get some guys in food service to get our works up and running. And I'd say we've made a good progress in this game here. We'll just watch this monolith finish, and then I'll wrap up the review. 99% and 100. So the extractors are more efficient. We can start moving those researchers into the construction, and we'll leave the ones over there doing their work. So to sum up this game, you can get it for £5.60, as I said. Great price for a game this fun, and you can spend hours playing this. There's a game mode plus. I'll just show you quickly. If I was to set up a new game here, you've got the normal mode, the plus mode, and the Zen mode. The Zen mode removes the enemies, which allows you to focus entirely on the base building aspect. And obviously the plus mode makes the enemies harder, so you have to think a bit more about the positioning of where you're going to place your defences, and the timings of when you're going to pull your workers back into the defences to stop them getting killed. So once you've completed all the missions in the normal mode, you can go onto the plus mode if you want and face a bit of a harder challenge. So yeah, £5.60, way less than a pizza. Pick it up, definitely worthwhile. So leave a like and a favourite, subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, and I'll see you soon. Okay, so as a quick bonus clip, I thought I'd show you some of the super late game. As you can see, I've gotten rid of all the extractors and the energy wells because I don't need them anymore. The only thing I need is the kitchens and gardens to produce food, because whenever one of your minions die, and they do die a lot when it gets to the late game, you're gonna need to get another 2 food to the quarters to revive that minion. As you can see, we've got 11 enemies coming in from all over, shooting our minions here, there and everywhere. We've already lost 1 or 2. So let's set, as soon as the wave's finished, you always throw them all back into a food service to get the food you need to the quarters for the minions to revive. And you can see we're on, I can't remember what wave we're on actually, it must be 22, 23 now, and you can see how fast the bar's rising. So you end up with very short amounts of time to get what you need done before the next wave of enemies comes. So we've just gotten all of our minions back, so let's throw everyone back into defense, which involves a lot of clicking. So try and get everyone back into defense, and they should be able to protect us when the next wave comes in. So as you see, you have less than a minute between waves, and eventually you end up running out of time, and that's when how well you built your base comes into show. because you want to have everything close enough together that your minions will be able to get there and get defended all between waves. So we're on wave 23, we've got a load more enemies coming in. We can actually delete that because we don't need that room. And we're back onto food service now. Although saying that, I don't actually think we lost anyone that round, so we'll keep that. Anyway, that's just a brief glimpse of the end game.